Gorgeous day out there today. Thought I left Buffalo. So we're back at it. We've been back at it since Saturday. So today was actually, even though this is usually an early part of the week thing with you guys, we actually have already had our Wednesday practice today. I feel pretty good about the preparation. We got a couple of days rest last week. We gave everybody, the players were off on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We practiced, the coaches were out on the road Monday, Tuesday. We practiced Wednesday morning. We practiced Thursday morning. We gave the players all day off on Nevada Day Friday. And the staff was in game planning, and Fresno game week started for us on Saturday. And I'm pleased so far. We shut some guys down during the bye week to let them get healthy. Goltry didn't practice. McCauley didn't practice. Jake Henry didn't practice. We shut Dobrich down for a couple of days. We had some guys that were nicked up that just needed a little bit of time to try and heal. Where we're at right now, health-wise, Faramos 50-50 for the game. Fonts is 50-50 for the game. That'll be a decision here in the next day or so. Engelmeyer is still out. But other than that, I think I'm not going to say we're as healthy as we can be because we're nowhere near that. But, I mean, in terms of stuff that was nagging, we're starting to get some guys back feeling better. Obviously, a little bit of a wrinkle with a Thursday night game on the road. We'll bus out of here, at about 11 in the morning on Wednesday. It's difficult. We like the TV exposure. We like sharing the TV revenue with and being a part of this great league. But the Thursday nights are tough. I mean, Thursday nights are tough. We'll bust back through the night and have some guys have to go to class on Friday. But that, trying to manage the academics and the football, and it really kind of made it not truly a bye week. Because a weekend you weren't supposed to be playing, we're on the practice field, so it's not like we're doing nothing. So, and they had the same issues. So, we're getting ready for a team that has, played pretty good in spurts, and in other times have, not looked so great. But the exact same thing could be said about us. I think the thing for us right now is to stay humble. One of the things that we've been talking to the team about is we haven't won 2 games in a row since, October of last year. So we've got to show some maturity and some consistency and find a way to stack good performances on top of each other and stop riding this roller coaster that we've been on. I think, obviously Fresno has suffered through some adversity. You look at, the injuries that they've had to endure at the quarterback position and the amount of turnover that they've had there. Certainly, as a coach, I'm sympathetic to that. That's difficult to deal with. But they're still playing hard. They're competing. They beat a team that we lost to. I mean, they came back and beat UNLV, and that's a team that we didn't beat. So, like I said before, I mean, we're not good enough to look past anybody. We've got to respect every opponent, stay humble, and go to work and try and go out and play the best game we can. Offensively, they're still running the same stuff. It's 3 and 4 wide, although they're getting into more. They're involving the tight end more than I thought they did a year ago. Waller, the running back's their best player, and I still believe that you have to stop the run first. They hurt us in the running game here last year. And we've got to do a better job against that. Obviously they're trying to keep it easy for the quarterback. A lot of screens, a lot of quick game, not a ton of stuff down the field. But they have athletes on the outside that if you don't pursue the ball or you don't fit it correctly, they can hurt you. Chad Olson, the tight end, is becoming a good player. Keyshawn Johnson, number 3, and Jameer Jordan, number 2. Both redshirt freshmen, young players that at time will make young player mistakes, but at other times make big plays. And the one thing that is clear to me is that we cannot allow them to just play pitch and catch, because if we allow them to do that, they will make plays. Defensively, an odd front, coming from everywhere. It seems to be a common theme here the last 4 or 5 weeks, but they get their nose tackle, Matson, back, who's a big, stout player. They get their best DB, Charles Washington, back. He missed the Air Force game. They get him back. Tyquan Glass, the corner, 25, I think is a very, very good player. And the linebackers, 31 and 40. 31, Ederain is a very good player. He's an every down player. And then when they get into sub package, you see them kick Ederain and number 40, who Green. They walk them up and create the 4-man front and make them the defensive ends, and they can both rush. So we got our work cut out for us, and Thursday night game, all those things that could be a distraction, we can't allow it. And to be honest with you, I was very proud of the team today, because we went down to the practice field. The water had pooled up on the field to the point where we couldn't practice down there. So we walked through down there. Then we went up to the stadium. It was a downpour and 37 degrees all day, and I was worried about whether or not we would allow that to be a distraction, and we did not. We practiced well, and I'm very happy and pleased with the job that the guys did. I know it's football weather. I get it, but that was like Buffalo. That was miserable today. So I would rather had it snow. But they did a good job. So we're excited to go get back to it and play on ESPN2 and anxious to get going. So take any questions. Well, they lost a bunch of guys that went to the NFL. The safety Smith, I believe he was a draft pick. If he wasn't a draft pick, I know he was. They lost one of the best defensive tackles in the league last year. Was a 6'1", 310-pound senior. I can't recall his name. I thought he was great. Their non-conference schedule was a buzzsaw. And then. When you get beat up at quarterback and you're young at the skill positions the way that they are, it can be difficult. But I still have a great deal of respect for them. And the thing about a team that's playing young guys, to be struggling with seniors, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But when you struggle and you're playing a bunch of young guys like they are, those young guys get better throughout the course of the year, and you've seen that. So, there are a bunch of reasons. It's difficult in our league to be. I mean, look at Colorado State. What are they right now? 4-5, I believe, or somewhere around 500. That was a 10-win team last year. It's difficult in a mid-major conference to be good year after year after year, because, you're not going to recruit to the level where freshmen can just come in and you keep rolling. You kind of got to. You have every couple of years you'll have that really veteran team with some really good seniors and a bunch of seniors, and you have a really good year, and then those guys graduate, and if the next ones were ready to win 10 games for you, they'd be in the Pac-12, not in the Mountain West. You got to develop players, and when you get young again, it kind of goes in cycles.
Kind of termed entering the season that kind of Fresno was the last block to get over in the West Division, having beaten San Diego State last year. Is that still kind of the mindset, or based on how they played, is that not, I guess, the last?
I think there's a mental block for us. I mean, I believe Fresno State won here the year before I arrived. Is that correct? So it's a game. It's one that I would consider a rival. It's a game that matters. Well, they all matter to us, but I mean, we've got to get over this hurdle. I mean, last year, if we beat them, we play for the Mountain West Conference Championship, and they beat us thoroughly. and I haven't forgotten that. And our guys we got to find a way to beat this team. I don't care what the records are. I mean, we got to get over the mental hump of beating this team. Now, they've suffered some adversity that at the beginning of the year, who would have said they're going to be on their fourth quarterback? I mean, nobody is going to guess that. And to be honest with you, watching crossover film, I probably undervalued San Diego State a little bit. They're clearly really, really good. Now, we got about another month before we really got to worry about that, but I've seen them on crossover film. So, I mean, if you're asking me, San Diego State's the class of our side, and rightfully so.
Reference the game against Fresno last year. Is that still one that you think about or nausea you?
It bothers me. I'm not going to speak for the players, but it bothers me, to think that we could have played for the I mean, I can tell you the sequence still. I mean, we're up in the game. We kick off late in the first half. We force a fumble, and we have a chance to go in and maybe go up 2 scores, and we throw a pick and allow them to score to make it a 21-20 game at the half. I mean, trust me, this game still bothers me a lot. But it's a new year. It's a new set of players. It's a new set of issues. But, I'm not going to speak for the players, and I haven't mentioned it in front of the team. But, I still think about it.
You mentioned no back-to-back wins since last October. The last 5 times you guys have won a game, you haven't won the following game. Do you feel like the team gets – what do you think the issue is there? Does the team maybe ease off the gas a little? Is it just random?
It's not random. I'm not going to make excuses, but it's not random. I think this is where having a very small senior class and, maturity, I think it's a maturity thing. It's my responsibility too, so I own part of it. But I mean that's something. If you want to be a really good team, you got to play at a high level consistently, and we have not done that yet this year. And we got to find a way. You can't go up and down like this. I mean, it's just not what we expect. It's not okay. So we got to find it. Sometimes you just get beat by better teams, but I don't think we were outclassed talent-wise in a couple of games this year. I think we just didn't execute, and the other teams did. So we need to get over that hump. We got to play consistently.
How advantageous was it for you to have a bye week before a Thursday night game?
Oh, it's a must. If we had not had a bye week before a Thursday game, I'd have been screaming bloody murder. I mean, it's not fair to ask. I mean, what they ask these kids to do in the or those guys to do in the National Football League, play on a Sunday and turn around and play on Thursday. It's nuts. I mean, it's difficult in college, and we play on Saturdays. But the thing that I was pleased about was the way it's set up. We both had bye weeks leading into the game, so there was no advantage for one team or another in terms of preparation. And, you always worry about that with a weeknight game, and that the league did a nice job of scheduling that out and making sure that we're on an even playing field. So, you really didn't have a bye. You had a couple days off, but you really didn't have a bye week. But neither did they. So, and then we'll see how the game goes and how we decide to attack Friday, Saturday of this week and what we decide to do with the team.
How would you rate their home field advantage compared to some of the other venues in the Mountain West?
When they're winning and it's going good, the place is rocking. I mean, we went up there in Carr's senior year. They were undefeated at the time and trying to get themselves into a BCS bowl game. And it was loud. It was packed. It's a long walk from the locker room down to the field, and a lot of that walk is exposed to their fan base, and they are vociferous and opinionated. They don't mind telling you what they think of you, and in some cases of your family. I don't know what it's going to be like now. When you look on, it's a Thursday night game. You look on the film, at times the stadium doesn't look like it has in past years, but they're great. They're great fans. They're loyal, and they play well at home. They always play well at home. So, we're expecting that.
Your run defense was very good against Hawaii, obviously holding them to I think like 34 yards. How encouraging is that, and how big will it be to stop the run?
Encouraging in the sense that we played well, yeah, but I don't think there's very much crossover because scheme-wise it's going to be completely different. We're going to have to tackle in space. We're going to have to pursue the ball. We're going to have to be darn sure we fit pullers the right way. Their best play is their counter, which they hurt us with badly last year. So, you know, I'm glad that we're coming off a good performance and we can build off that, but this is a completely different animal, and we got to, you know, I think really it's going to start up front for us. I mean, we can't just run up the field blindly. We've got to try and get some knockback, play with our hands, get off some blocks, and Waller's a great back. I mean, Waller's, you know, he kind of gets lost because, you know, Pumphrey and Hill and McNichol, there's some really good backs in this league, but I do think that Waller's a different type of back. He's a big guy. He's a physical runner. He'll break more tackles than he'll make people miss, but he's a really good back, and I respect him a great deal.
Besides just getting the time off and resting, what would you say would be the biggest benefit that you saw from the bye week?
I think when you go at it for like 11 or 12 weeks like we did when you add training camp, they need a mental break from football. I'm sure they're tired. You know, there comes a point where they don't want to hear my voice. They don't want to hear their position coach's voice. They don't want to step foot in the building. Everybody needs that little mental break, and to give them a couple days where, you know, they were able to have that and be able to come back in and hit the reset button a little bit. I think that was healthy for everybody. And, you know, we managed to give the coaches a afternoon. You know, we were able to get out Saturday night. We got our work done so everybody could go out with their kids trick-or-treating and you know, try to enjoy some family time too. But I think there comes a time where it doesn't matter what sport you play. You know, in basketball, everybody kind of probably points to the holiday break. You know, I know in professional football, everybody's, you know, when they get to the bye week, they're thankful that it's there. It's not that we don't care. It's not that we don't love what we do, but everybody eventually just needs to take a mental break and do that. And I'm sure that the guys appreciated that.
The way the game finished against Hawaii, getting to the quarterback, the takeaways, I mean, can you take stuff out of that to build confidence off that fourth quarter? Is it just a different game and you can't really, or do you feel like you can?
Oh, I think we can build confidence off of the whole second half. I mean, they did a lot of good things defensively. I mean, we played complementary football in the second half of the Hawaii game. All three phases played well in the second half. The trick for is we got to start faster. I mean, being down 17-0 is not fun, and we don't want to be in the habit of having to play from behind. We've got to come out the gate and execute better in all three phases. You know, a lot has been talked about starting faster on offense and, you know, finishing drives with points earlier in the game, but it's really all three phases. We've got to force some 3-and-outs on defense, and frankly, our special teams in the first half of the Hawaii game let us down. We did not cover kicks well, and we got behind the 8-ball in terms of the field position battle, and eventually Hawaii kept pecking away, and ended up with points. You know, we got to start faster in all three phases.
You mentioned Waller. His numbers are down quite a bit this year. Is that more of an offensive line thing, or why have they struggled?
To be honest with you, I couldn't answer that. I think he's a heck of a back. I think when you have quarterback issues like they've had, teams say, okay, we're going to make you be one-dimensional. We're going to take Waller away, and you got to beat us throwing the ball. I'm sure there's some of that in there, but in terms of why, I don't know their issues. They do, and I'm sure they're working to get them fixed because they have good coaches. And again, the guy's a really good back. I've seen him live and in person be a really good back, so that's what we're expecting.
You mentioned they're on their fourth-string quarterback. Where have you noticed Anderson's gotten better over the few weeks he's started?
He's making more plays as a runner. We have to honor him as a running threat. He is throwing the ball with a little bit more confidence, and in the last couple of clips of film I've seen, the ball is going down the field a little bit more and a little bit better than it had earlier in the year. You're good? All right. Thank you.
What do you think the key is to, start stringing some wins
Kind of like Coach P saying, playing complimentary football.
Do you feel like you guys ease off the gas at all after a win, or maybe get a little content? Or
No, we just after Sunday's practice, it's pretty much done and on to the next one.
What do you guys have been saying amongst the locker room about last year's game against Fresno State, the opportunity you guys have? Is there a sense of wanting to get this game back and want to get a W against them?
Yeah, of course. We know how big that game was, and we kind of let that one slip by. But we're just trying not to let that happen again.
James, how key was the bye week for you?
Oh, it felt really nice, to get my body back and get the legs back.
Was it? Coach talked a little bit about also in the bye week just kind of getting a break from football and from practice and all that. I mean, mentally, do you think that it was important to have a little break like that?
Yeah, of course. And to get caught up on school, which is nice.
You guys were able to run the ball pretty well. You really did some physical running against Hawaii. How important is it going to be for the run game to continue?
As an offense, we always want to establish a run. Whenever the U's there, we always have a good day.
Playing on a Thursday night on national TV, does that add extra motivation? Is that exciting for you?
Yeah, it's been cool. It seems like it's been a while since we played on TV this year. So, playing on the big stage is always nice for, so people back home can watch.
Anything else for James?
All right, thanks.
Questions for Rykeem? All right, Rykeem, how excited are you to be going home?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty excited to be going back. Haven't been back in a while.
How many people have you had to get tickets for?
Probably about 40, but it's a lot of people that just going to come and just pay their own way to get there.
Is this kind of like an early, cool senior day for you to kind of actually be going back to your hometown?
I guess you could look at it like that, but what's most important for me is just getting the win, so it won't mean much unless that happens.
I guess, what are you most looking forward to this Thursday night?
I'm looking forward to getting the win.
Would you say this was a game that you guys circled going into the season?
Yeah, all games are important, but there is a little something special about this one. Last year, we had our chance to go to the championship if we beat those guys, and we didn't get it done.
What would you say the rivalry is like between Nevada and Fresno State as compared to maybe some of the other ones?
Since I've been here, we haven't beat them yet, so that's what it is.
How would you rate their home field advantage compared to some of the other stadiums in the Mountain West?
Yeah, it's pretty hostile. It's a hostile environment. Well, at least it was last time I went. They were winning. They had a blackout game, and the fans, it was pretty involved, and yeah.
What's it like? Playing on a Thursday night there on national TV, does that amp it up? How exciting is that opportunity for you?
Yeah, it's a big opportunity, and I'm excited to see how well we're going to play.
Coming off the bye week, just what was that like? Getting a break from football, getting a little healthy. How important was that bye week for you guys?
I think it was a big chance to just everybody take a step back. Just let their bodies heal up a little bit, get a little mental break, a little physical break, and now we're right back into it, ready to go, get this win.
When it comes to running back the caliber of Waller, what do you guys have to do to slow him down?
We got to make big plays in the backfield. We got to make negative plays, tackle well in space, and just do that consistently.
Did you go to a lot of Bulldog games growing up?
Nah, not at all.
No?
I don't like these guys at all. I never did.
Growing up there, why didn't you like them? Usually, like your hometown team.
I just never did. Just never did. I don't know.
Would you be unfulfilled if you left Nevada and not having beat them in your career? Would you be upset about that?
I would be upset, but hopefully I won't have to go through that when we get this win Thursday.
Anything else for Rykeem? Thank you.
All right.
Fresno State mean more to you than any other game?
I don't know if you can put it above the UNLV game, but it's definitely, I would say, up there rivalry-wise. It's always a pretty good game when we get to playing them. Last year obviously wasn't the greatest game for us, but it's always been pretty good since I've been here.
What's it going to be like playing on national television?
I mean, it'll definitely be fun, but it's just another game. We got to go out there and execute, whether we're on TV or not. So we're just looking forward to executing and hopefully getting this win.
I guess meaning you guys get like an extra kick knowing you're on center stage?
I don't think we should need an extra kick. I think we should be ready to go and have our own juice because we get to play football, whether it's on national television or not.
And then having that bye week, I mean, how advantageous was it for you to have a few days off?
It was pretty nice. And got extra days to prepare for Fresno State, so that was good. But obviously we had a couple guys beat up, so those days off helped everybody out.
What type of atmosphere is it like playing at Fresno State? I mean, especially Thursday night. What do you expect from the stadium?
Well, last time I was there was 2 years ago, and like Coach Polian said, they were rocking pretty good. Night game. I don't know what it'll be like this year. I'll be prepared for that because it always seems to be pretty noisy, a lot of chirping going on, but it makes it fun. It's pretty cool for the fans to be involved like that and be rooting their team on, so it should be fun.
Does it bother the team at all that you guys haven't beaten Fresno State?
I think it bothers everybody, whether any loss. Obviously, having not beat them in a while probably bothers a lot of people. I know losing to anyone bothers me, so I feel like if we get this win, it'll mean a lot to a lot of people on this team, especially the seniors, and it'll mean a lot to me, so hopefully we can do that.
Coach Brian even said he thought there might be a mental block with this team. I mean, do you feel that way, with your guys, that, Fresno is kind of a big hurdle that you guys have to get over?
No, I just think they've been a good team in the past, and we just haven't played as best we can against them for whatever reason. There's other games where we didn't play very well either, and it's a different team. It's not necessarily Fresno State. So I think we just got to go out there and execute, and getting this win will obviously mean a lot to the seniors, and we just want to send them out the right way. So.
You had mentioned that you guys hadn't won back-to-back games since October, and he doesn't think that's random. He thinks there's something to that. I guess what would you, attribute, having a difficult time winning 2 straight games and putting some wins together? Why do you think that's been the case?
I couldn't point it on one particular thing. Me not playing last year, probably I couldn't. I don't know. I don't have. It's not like I have the same feel as when I'm playing as for the team as a whole and how we're executing. It's kind of tough when you're not playing to get that feel. This year, just like he said, I think we've been a little too roller coaster, up and down, and I think a lot of it is on us, not necessarily the coaches as much. We have to execute. Sometimes it doesn't come down to play calling. Sometimes it comes down to the players and what they do, and we just got to make the plays consistently. And I think just being consistent is what football is all about, and we have to do that week in and week out.
Doing something on your center, Nathan Goltry. I guess, what have you thought of his play? What has he added to your offensive line?
I think he's done great. Center has to do a lot in our offense. They're take control of a lot, and I feel like he's done really well. I think it kind of surprised the coaches a little bit, but I mean, I always thought like he was a smart guy from when he first got here. He's a little witty guy, so I felt like he just had to kind of play within himself and stay calm, and I feel like he's done that this year, and I hope he keeps doing that, and I expect him to.
Seems like a pretty jovial guy. I guess, how has his sense of humor, his joy of life kind of, helped the team in serious situations?
I definitely think it helps a lot, especially at practice when maybe a couple plays haven't gone very well, and he's always right there to make a little comment to the coaches or to anybody, and it makes it makes everyone calm down a little bit, get a little laugh going. And during the game, some guys get a little too serious during the games when they have a mess up or such, and obviously mess ups are going to happen during a game, so he kind of keeps the vibe calm, which is nice.
Have you heard him do his Bill Tier Lincoln question ever?
Of course, yes. I'm going to hear it right now when we go to lifting. That's the first thing I'm going to hear.
What do you think of it?
I think it's awesome because it's right on point.
What is his biggest strength? What makes him a Division I football player at a starting level?
I think his intelligence. He recognizes fronts pretty well, recognizes when blitzes are coming, and he tries to communicate that throughout the whole line because that's kind of his job. Obviously, other guys help out, but he's the first guy that kind of starts the communication. I feel like he's done a really good job this year with that, so I would say that.
Anything else for Tyler? All right, thank you. Any questions for Matt Lyons?
What do you think the key is to stringing another good game together? It's been a struggle to get 2 wins back-to-back. I guess, what do you think you guys have to do in this game to do that? And what would it mean to the team to win a couple games and get some momentum going?
I think first off, we have to stop the run. I think they're a better run team than they have been in previous years, and really just stopping the run and trying to make them one-dimensional.
Waller's a pretty good back. I guess, what have you seen from him on film? What makes him a standout running back?
He's a big physical back, and he hits his gaps. He runs really hard.
Remind you of anybody in the Mountain West that you've seen?
I mean, I think he's just as good as any of them. I'm not sure. I think he's a good player.
Does last year's Fresno game sit in your mind at all? Does it give you a bad feeling? You feel like you get a little bit of revenge by winning this game based on how last year's game went?
Definitely. I mean, I think that that we had a big opportunity that we didn't get to reach the Mountain West championship. So I think everybody wants to win this game.
Anderson, their quarterback's got a few more starts under his belt. Where have you noticed he's gotten better on film?
I think he's a good runner. You have to respect his run, and he makes good reads.
How would you compare this rivalry against some of the other ones?
I'm not sure. I think it's just as any other Mountain West team on this side of the division. I like going to play there. I think their fans are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how would you rank their that home field advantage they've got compared to some of the other places in the Mountain West?
I think they do get a little home field advantage. I like playing against their fans. I don't know. I like playing there. I don't think it's that much of a home field advantage, but they definitely have some upper hand.
With the game being on national TV, do you guys get a little extra kick knowing you're on the center stage?
Definitely. I mean, you have people that don't get to see you play often, family or friends from all over that don't get to watch you play. So I think it'd definitely be on people's minds.
How nice was it to get this bye week, a chance to get healthy and get a little mental break from football?
It was great. People get to just step back and get their minds right, get their body right, and get ready for next week.